Hey guys, I haven't done a review in quite a while and I want to discuss a game called Catherine. Now you might notice I got the PS3 copy of Catherine. Just to let you guys know, it is not an exclusive, so if you own an Xbox 360 you can pick up that version as well and still receive the overall same experience. And the reason why I want to review Catherine is because it really did pique my interest from the get-go. I bought it back in January. I had to shut the game off completely out of pure frustration. The game was extremely difficult. The learning curve by no means was exactly difficult, but the level of difficulty when you progress through each night really did test my patience, and it just got to the point where I just want to fling it across the side of the room, stamp on it, swear at it, and never see it again. But I'm glad I went back and played it because I discovered a gem of a game. It is a really good game. It's developed by Atlus and published by Deep Silver. I think it's a 2010 game? 11? No, 2011 I think. So it's quite an older game, but I've just finished it. And oh boy, it's such an original mix of genres and subgenres which I really enjoy in film, and especially in gaming. Imagine a psychological horror game with comedy, with TV/reality show, with puzzle. It is such an odd mix of these genres, but believe me when I say it works, and it works beautifully. Because the story of Catherine, it really revolves around the subject matter of infidelity. This is not a topic which is solely discussed in video games, it's really reserved only for films, but it really tackles the subject matter head on, and it does a really good job of it. It makes you feel uncomfortable. It makes you wonder whether or not you'd actually want to cheat on somebody, because our main character here, his name is called Vincent. He's stuck between Catherine's cleavage, and oh boy, what a place to be. And we've got Catherine with a C here, who's sort of like Vincent's ideal girl. She's really gorgeous looking too, like blonde hair, blue eyes, silky voice, scantily clad in lingerie. But there's another Catherine in the mix, and we had Catherine with a K. Oh yes. Catherine with a K is Vincent's long-term girlfriend. They actually met during a high school reunion and have been partners ever since. So Vincent's really torn between the girl of his dreams, sort of, and his long-term girlfriend. And the story of Catherine very much feels like The Ring, like the film, the horror film The Ring. 7 days until you die. Because Vincent is 32 years old, he's sort of like approaching midlife crisis. He doesn't know what he wants to do with his life. He doesn't know if he's up for commitment just yet. And he frequents this bar a lot called the Stray Sheep. He's with his mates called Orlando, Johnny and Toby. And it's here that they drink a lot, they smoke a lot, they talk about girls a lot, and all sorts of stuff that us guys do. And at the end of the night, he bumps into Catherine, and he's just jaw-dropped by just how gorgeous she is, how it's everything he's ever wanted. He goes to bed that night, has an awful dream about climbing blocks, meeting sheep, talking sheep mind you, and when he wakes up from this awful nightmare, he sees Catherine with a C next to him in bed, and he's gobsmacked, he's really alarmed. You know, did I cheat? I just met this girl, like I don't even remember anything that I did with this girl. Did we hook up? And it's really, really crazy. The story is really unique. It's really thought-provoking. It plays very much like Heavy Rain. There's a lot of moral decisions to make in this game. For example, when you because it's spaced over 7 days, when you reach the end of each staircase, and at the end of each staircase, you come to like a confessional booth, and at this booth there's other sheep there. And these sheep don't think that they're sheep. They think everyone else around them is sheep but them. Does that make sense? I'll make it a little bit easier for you. So when Vincent goes up to the sheep and talks to him, he'll be like, oh my god, you're a sheep, you're a talking sheep. And they'll be like, excuse me, you're the sheep here, not me. So it's kind of like a war of sheepery going on, and they're all striving to get to the top, because all these other sheep are fellow cheaters, just like Vincent. So it really puts you in this uncomfortable position, especially when you step into the confessional booth. There's this mysterious voice right next to you, a really nagging, annoying voice, mind you, and he gives you these awful questions that you must answer, and all of these questions amount to the ending that you're inevitably going to get. Like really awkward questions. Like one question I got was, what do you think about sex workers, like actors who do sex, which obviously means pornography actors? And and the answers were, it's just a job, or they're lucky. It puts you in such a weird predicament, and you actually have to be really careful with what you answer, because everything gets saved, uploaded, and recorded onto the system. So each time you finish a nightmare, on each night, it shows you like a little wheel, and it has like a ratio of what people answered on their first playthrough. So you really have to be careful, and this is all going to affect the ending that you get. So the story of Catherine is really thought-provoking, it's provocative, it's suggestive, it's very much an adult game and a very much an adult story. And again, this has not been tackled in a video game, I don't think, to the extent that Catherine did. So with the characters, they're really quite memorable. I really like the guy who does Vincent's voiceover. His name's called Troy Baker, one of my favourite voice actors. He's really good at doing natural voices. Like, he sounds incredibly natural. He doesn't sound like a voice actor. That's what I love about this guy. And, you know, you have to make this guy believable. You have to make him worth saving over these 7 days of hell. Otherwise, he's just a complete sod and he's a waste of time. But he done such a good job. There's some really cool characters in here as well who I won't go into much depth with. Just be prepared to make your decision between Catherine with a C or Catherine with a K. That's going to be your inevitable outcome. You have to pick from one or the other, because you've obviously done something really, really bad. When it comes to gameplay, I was really quite torn, and it's going to be the make or break of this game. You're going to love it, you're going to hate it. I hated it the first time I played through it. Like I said, I threw it across the side of the room. I did not want to see it again. I went back and finished it, and I'm glad I did, because the gameplay is really, really rewarding. It's a block puzzle, through and through. You have to push blocks, pull blocks, you have to just make a staircase to reach the top of the game. The concept sounds rather simple, but believe me when I say it's extremely difficult. It's going to test your patience, and it's really going to make you think. Like, there's some items here you can get as well. Like, you can get items that create a block. Like, you can toss it and it will create a block for you so that you can stand up on. It's a one-time use items. All the items are one-time use, so you have to be extremely careful with the gameplay. Otherwise, you can end up throwing the game just like I almost did. Anyway, but the gameplay was by no means crap. It was just difficult, and it's just difficult to be difficult. And what I really liked between the mix of the story and the gameplay is that it wove together really nicely. Like, you got a bit of story and then a bit of gameplay, a bit of story and a bit of gameplay. So it flows together really nicely. Barring the end was a little bit too excessive, a little bit too long. But it all irons out all the creases, like with the story and so on and so forth. The graphics of the game are really, really spectacular. It's AAA stuff, top notch, first grade stuff. It's really, really something. It's excessive use of pink, which is associated with our main character, Catherine. So it's got like a real visual look in spades. It's animation. It's an anime game, like animation. You either love it or you hate it. I love animation in video games. A lot of people don't. I love it. It's really, really beautiful to look at, I think. And I'd rather get something which looks animated than something which looks more realistic, if you know what I mean. Because I can do that in a film. I can watch a film and get that experience. But the visual quality of the game is great. The soundtrack was surprisingly wonderful. It was really, really great. It's got like this real loungy feel, there's a lot of piano tracks in here, which makes it feel really timeless and really lounge feeling. There's a lot of orchestral moments, and there's a lot of good survival horror references too, like the music. Like, imagine like Resident Evil in like a comedy / psychological horror game. It works so beautifully well, like really, really well. So before I come to my ending conclusion for Catherine and wrap up my review, I'm just going to say watch what you answer. Everything gets recorded, so you really do have to keep an eye out for that. The gameplay, it's going to be tough for some people. Let me tell you, it's going to be tough, but it's definitely worth it. It's rewarding stuff. The story is magnificent. It really does tackle fidelity like no game has ever done before. So, if you play a game for stories, Catherine is for you. Let me tell you, Catherine is for you. The graphical style of the game is really, truly fantastic. So overall, I'm tempted to give it like an 8 or 9 out of 10. I don't give scores in games, but if I'm going to try and convince someone to pick up this game, I'm going to say pick it up, absolutely. Even if it's a rent, you owe Catherine a try. Because it's different, it's quirky, it's odd, it's original, and it really makes you think. Like, I've never been put in that predicament myself where I've actually cheated on somebody. And after playing this game, it really does make me not want to be unfaithful ever, because the consequences and the backlash of it is so staggering. And believe me when I say, it's got some truly horrific moments in here, like good horrific moments. Like, I won't tell you what ending I've got, but I've got the what was it called? True Freedom. I got the True Freedom ending. I'm not going to discuss what the ending was. So if you want to find out what ending that was, you might have to do a bit of research on that. So, final thoughts is Catherine is in its league of its own. It's really spectacular. It's a one-of-a-kind game. Atlus done such a good job with this game. A really thought-provoking, challenging game. And I don't think you'll regret the time that you put into it if you give it a try. Like, if you think this game was crap, it's obviously because you didn't finish it, based on pure frustration, just like I did. So, thanks for watching my review on Catherine. If you guys want to leave me your own suggestions or ideas and opinions, what you thought about the game, you can leave that in the comment section below, and I will get back to you on this, I promise. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye.